Hi beautiful souls, it's Tan back here again today with you on this Astrology, Human Design and Gene Keys channel with another Synastry video. So today we're going to be talking about when one person's Mars is conjunct another person's Ascendant. This is such a spicy combination in Synastry. So Synastry is when you take two people's individual birth charts and you overlay them on top of each other to get a sense of how these two people will interact, what is going to be their rapport, their chemistry, their relational dynamics. It can even show you the sole purpose of why they are in a relationship with each other, alongside the composite and the Davidson relationship chart, of course. I'm back to doing Synastry readings, and if you guys are interested to get a reading, you can check out the links in the description box and in the comment section below. This is very, like I said, very spicy because Mars is the part of us that, it rules sexuality, it rules our drive and our ambition and our need to take action. So Mars is a selfish planet. And it is important to sometimes be selfish in our lives. The Ascendant is someone's physical body. It's someone's life path. It also represents it's a very sensitive point in the birth chart. The angles in the birth charts are very sensitive. So when you have one person's Mars conjunct another person's Ascendant, the Mars person is immediately going to feel a sexual attraction towards the Ascendant person. So depending on how close the orbs are, we always want to go back to orbs in Synastry, the more this is going to be felt. This might apply if someone's Mars is in your first house, but again, it's less intense and less felt the further it is away from the Ascendant. This tends to be more of a there's some kind of attraction going both ways, because the Ascendant person is also seeing the Mars person's physical body as being something that they like. This can be kind of an aspect that is felt instantly, but not necessarily something that is deep. So you have to look at other things in the Synastry to show if there's an emotional connection or something deeper than this. But this is just a raw physical attraction. It might not always lead the Mars person to wanting to we can say get things going in the bedroom with the Ascendant person, because it depends on the Mars sign. Of course, if it's a fire Mars, the Mars person is definitely going to be direct in wanting to get the Ascendant person into the bedroom and have something to do with each other there. But when you have Mars that can be maybe water or Earth Mars except Capricorn, then you can see that they may want to relate to each other on some levels. It depends. But yeah, this is definitely one of those aspects that can make the Mars person a little bit obsessed with the Ascendant person and their physicality, but also their journey in life, like what they're doing. And I realized I forgot to plug in my microphone, so now it's in. The Ascendant person, their aura, their being in the physical presence of the Ascendant person can kind of get the Mars person to feel certain things about their need to get what they want, right? So, and it can sometimes go both ways, but I usually see this happening as the Mars person doing that to the Ascendant person. Sometimes, the Ascendant person may not even may feel a little bit like, whoa, towards the Mars person, like, let's chill a little bit here. But it doesn't cause the Ascendant person to push the Mars person away, because that's not really how, the Ascendant person is not taking action in that way to push the Mars person away because they're feeling uncomfortable, but it's just a feeling. Like the Ascendant person is going to feel a little bit like, okay, this Mars is coming on very strongly, something like that. So hopefully, when you have this in Synastry, the Mars person has got a pretty mature Mars, hopefully, in a sense that, if we have someone's Mars that is like in a square to Pluto, or maybe the Mars is in a square to the Sun in their own natal chart and it's conjuncting another person's Ascendant, this is going to be a little bit harsh for the Ascendant person, right? They're going to feel like the Mars is coming on really strongly and I can't do anything about it. The Ascendant person is kind of left feeling like things are kind of going out of their control, but the Mars person is definitely going to take that action to pursue the Ascendant person in one way or another. But it's less like Mars and Venus. It's actually pursuing the body, like the physical body of the Ascendant person, right? It's like the Mars wants to touch, the Mars wants to get it going with the physical body of the Ascendant person. And the Ascendant person generally likes the way the Mars person looks, but they may, depending on the approach of the Mars, be hesitant towards the approach of the Mars person or not. And the other thing about this conjunction also is that, Mars likes to, it's that planet that likes to win, right? So if the more that the ascendant person, let's say they've got circumstances or situations in their life where they can't really, meet the Mars person where they want to be meeting sexually and things like that, the Mars person can, depending on the Mars sign, but most of the Mars signs it's going to stir up that part of you where you're like, I gotta win the ascendant person, this is a challenge, I'm gonna take up the challenge. And they tend to kind of win. They tend to kind of get it. The ascendant person tends to kind of, give in with that one. So that's kind of something that I also noticed with this particular conjunction. The positive aspects of this conjunction, the most positive aspect that you can have here is that the two people can kind of motivate each other into whatever it is that they're doing in life, depending on the sign. So like if, for example, you have like a Gemini rising and a person has a Mars in Gemini, maybe you motivate each other to learn. This can also be like maybe the ascendant person teaches the Mars person something, and the Mars person is teaching the ascendant person something, like actually teaching, like they're sitting together and they're like, oh, let's learn this together, right? They can motivate each other in that way. So it kind of depends on what's happening there. If it's like Aries Ascendant, Aries Mars, it can actually be physical, motivation. Let's do some sports together. Let's go and compete with each other in that sense. Maybe we do kickboxing together, and then, so that can be one of the more positive aspects of it is it's giving energy to the two people, motivational energy to act, energy to kind of do things together. So yeah, do comment below if you have the synastry aspect with somebody in your life and how it's turning out and playing out for you. And if you'd like to get a synastry reading, then you can visit and click the links in the description box below, as well as in the comments section. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe. And I'm sending you so much love, beautiful souls. Bye!